Ways of knowing are a check on our instinctive judgments. To what extent do you agree with this statement? There are many ways of knowing, and as long as we use more than one, they can help us reach a more unbiased judgment. Ways of knowing can really help us reconsider our instinctive judgments, but it's not only instinctive knowledge. For example, reason can help us reflect on what we learn through emotion, imagination, and faith. Ways of knowing are the methods through which we acquire knowledge. There are 8 different types of ways of knowing. These are language, memory, reason, emotion, imagination, faith, intuition, and perception. According to the theory of knowledge, John Nett, intuition is the ability to understand something through our instincts without reasoning. Intuition is considered an innate knowledge. It is when you know what is the right way to behave without even thinking about it. Reason, as a way of knowing, is using logic, rationality, judgments, and experiences to make sense of the world we live in. In many occasions, we use reason, even unconsciously, based on previous experiences that we don't even notice. Reason can be used to check on knowledge acquired through intuition or emotion. Emotion is very close to intuition because it guides us towards knowledge without conscious reasoning. Emotion is a strong feeling. It's sometimes called instinctive feelings. Our emotions can be anger, love, or joy, and there seems to be a limitless number of sources. The affective emotion is varied, and its duration depends on many factors. Emotions are a way of knowing. Sometimes we learn about the world and people throughout our emotions. Let me give you an example of how emotions have played a very important role in my way of knowing people. A few months ago, I met this boy, and automatically my emotions controlled me. And I saw him as a very attractive boy, as a gentleman, and he could do no harm to me and would do nothing wrong. I saw him as a perfect boyfriend. We would go to the movies and the beach, and would hang out with our parents and go eat. My friends and my mother started saying that he wasn't really a good guy, and I had to be careful with him. I refused to hear anything about it. My emotions told me he was perfect for me. I thought they were jealous of me being happy and having more than a friend. One day, he canceled our plans, so he can go eat with his family. So I decided to go to the movies with my friends. So guess what? He lied to me, and we found him with a girl from another school. I left running and went home crying. I started using reasoning and took another look at him. Suddenly, some of the things my mother told me about his behavior became clear. I remember other occasions where I had chosen to ignore his behavior, and suddenly it became apparent that he had some negative characteristics. I had used, as a way of knowing him, unconsciously my emotions. It had misguided me. Using reason, I checked on my emotional judgments. Does this really mean that we should forget about intuition and emotion and faith as ways of knowing the world? Should we only rely on reasoning to know about the world? Probably not. It would be a very boring world and a very emotional world. Using more than one way of knowing, it helps us reach a more unbiased judgment.